So we're 2 minutes away from the reveal. Before the reveal happens, I wanted to say one thing. So it's no surprise to anyone that leaks happen all the time. And for the most part, I still genuinely believe that a lot of the leaks come from either within Ubisoft or from content creators, as they're the ones who get early access, and as soon as the leaks occur is the same day that content creators get early access. One thing I wanted to point out is that I don't get invited to these capture sessions anymore. I told them straight up, I said, I will not go back to the capture sessions unless, one, you pay me because it's not worth my time, or two, you give us more time for exclusivity, because right now it's like the videos go live and then the next day test server comes out. I'm like, there's no point in us putting up a video when we have 24 hours of exclusivity, not even. So I don't do the early capture sessions anymore. That being said, I have seen everything coming in Year 7 Season 1 and Year 7 overall. The reason why is because Ubisoft posted all of that information in a Discord that I'm still a part of, even though I wasn't invited to the capture session. So I have seen their entire presentation, or I could see, I didn't watch it all. I have access to all of that information. I did not sign an NDA. So if I wanted to, I could legally post all of that information with zero legal repercussions. The only repercussions that could occur to me is that they could stop me from doing anything with them. Now that being said, obviously I have not leaked anything. I have not posted anything because I'm not going to. But that just kind of shows how much of a mess Ubisoft is when it comes to these things, because who else could be in that Discord that they did not invite? Luckily, I'm more sensible and I won't do that, but like the fact that anyone could be in there and just leak it, that's a huge oversight from Ubisoft, and they desperately need to fix it. That being said, here's the reveal. Azami with the bowl cut. So they're gonna have 2 defenders in a row. So this is just the season 1 reveal.
And welcome to Demonvale. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and I'll be your host for the show. As you know, we are starting a new year of Rainbow Six Siege. And what better way to start than by welcoming creative director Alex Karpazis to share the team's vision of the season.
So Year 7
He's the new creative designer or director.
It's the season of game changers. We have Azami.
He just became the new director.
One of the most complicated operators we've ever had to make. It took over a year to make her, and she brings a lot of change.
That makes sense. She was leaked a year ago.
Side, and it really speaks to the core of Rainbow Six and destruction and actually rebuilding any area in the map. And for the first time in a while, we're introducing a new map to Rainbow Six Siege. It's coming in the middle of the season, and hopefully everybody can get excited about exploring a
mid-season patch with a new map. I'm mixed on that. It's good because it makes the mid-season interesting.
Now, let's see it in action.
But it's like not having it at the beginning.
And Ubisoft News.
Defenders, have you ever thought to yourself, what if I could patch that hole in my reinforced wall? How great would it be if I could just block off that one sight line? I know they're about to come through that doorway, that window, that hatch. What if I could just seal it up? All these questions you ask yourself,
very interesting
Azami
gadget.
Answers with her Kiba barriers. The Demonvale Defender is ready to reshape the battlefield.
So she throws knives and has a blocking thing. Oh, she has a COVID mask.
Place to play with her gadget with the arrival of the Emerald Plains map.
Hey, that's her logo, or her icon. The harp.
The launch of Demonvale will be the launch of Attacker Repick and Team Deathmatch. It's gonna be a big one, so stick around to see all the updates coming to kick off Year 7 of Rainbow Six.
Oh, that was the Goyo rework. I did not know about that.
Azami's gadget is going to be a game changer for defenders, and game designer Dominic Clement is going to tell you more about it. But first, creative director Alex Karpazis and gameplay designer Jeremy Carvan are going to shed some light on Azami's design. And I'm going to need all the details on that suit.
When we looked at Azami's visual identity, we actually looked towards the Japanese security police. So these are bodyguards that protect VIPs that are both domestic and international.
Wait.
But Azami is
We didn't have
actually
any of
in the
those when we
private
were in
sector,
Japan.
So we wanted to take a bit of liberty
We're
with her
VIPs.
outfit, make sure that she can express that kind of duality of her nature. And that's how we ended up with this striking suit that Azami's wearing. When we wanted to talk about Azami's visuals, specifically her face mask, we wanted a bit of mystery there for her. This is
It's definitely a mark
piece of
on
fashion
COVID.
in Japanese culture that's existed forever, and we wanted to make use of it. So it was an ideal way of showcasing her kind of more hidden
She's
side.
fighting
It's the first
Ao
time
Kwang,
in a
the
while
dragon.
that we've actually hidden the face of a female operator, and this was kind of a unique opportunity for us to do that. We worked with our Japanese colleagues and poured through a bunch of kimono patterns and traditional patterns from the Japanese culture.
He said it was the
And we
first time
actually
they've
settled
ever
on
hidden the
cranes
face of a female
because
operator.
it was a
Nook is
nice
literally
kind of analogy
completely
for a
hidden.
gadget. The cranes are very powerful, and we kind of see that in her operator icon as well, where the crane kind of transforms into her
Those are what the
gadget,
geese are
which
like in Canada. That's how they attack
a big
you.
thing we're really happy to announce starting in season 1.
All my fellow
is a
Canadians
huge
will
tech
understand.
upgrade that we're bringing to the faces of our operators in the future. So this starts with Azami, where we've redone a whole bunch of things such as skin shaders, hair shaders, eye shaders. We've also upped the amount of poly count for the headgear and the face itself.
But
And so
why?
you'll see a lot more life and a lot more detail.
I mean, it's
in
nice to
some of our
have. It's obviously a
operators.
good improvement.
And because
But
Azami's
won't that
wearing
just
a mask,
increase
we wanted
the
to make sure that you can
requirements
see
on
the
PC?
full kind of
I guess it won't be that
upgrade.
much.
And we're including this with our benchmark character, which was Thunderbird. So in season 1, you're going to see Thunderbird and Azami both using this kind of new tech we've developed, and the team's worked incredibly hard to make sure we'll bring new life to our characters. So the main goal with this
cool. I'm
improvement
never
of
gonna
technology
notice
is
that.
not only to connect better with the characters, but also to make sure that
But
we have all the
I
tools
guess it's nice to
necessary
have.
to have a diverse cast, that we're not held back by what kind of character designs we want. And so you're going to see this in our customization and our new operators that are coming.
Honestly,
in
didn't even know
December.
she was wearing a suit.
I think the first part when we try to design a gadget is to really understand what is the gameplay mechanics behind it.
This guy's new.
What we were looking for was something super sharp, something that can stick into a wall, like pierce the wall and stay in place into it. The kunai came pretty naturally. That's a very,
That
very
looks-
iconic shape. And when we saw it, we knew
That 2D
that was
graphic does
the
not
thing we
look
were looking
good.
for. The second part is the patch. For the patch, we were looking for something that can adapt to a lot of different situations, like collisions and props and so on. And so we went to internet and we were looking for the chemical reactions that we can find. And we found one that transformed a gas into something solid. And we decided to take that road. And that's why on the kunai we added these 2 canisters. So one is for the gas.
Bro,
and
the knife is
other
like this
for
big.
It's the compound that.
How do they fit all that?
And finally, the last part is the arm mechanism.
Oh,
Azami
Spider-Man.
is a bodyguard. She's very high-fashion operator. So we thought that was cool to hide.
Bro, if I
something
had that, I would
on
cut off my
her
thumb
arm,
every
to add
time.
This mechanic to our dressing.
So for the very first time in Siege history, we're going to have an operator that can patch up holes. Azami brings the Kiba barriers, which are a kunai-shaped device that you can throw, and when it sticks, it will release a gas that will quickly solidify into a bulletproof surface.
Being bulletproof is going to
So
be
the idea of having
probably
an
the
operator that
biggest
can patch up holes is something
annoyance.
that comes up pretty much every time you ask someone to come up with an idea for an operator. We've had many operators that can destroy the map in many different ways. You know, when you think about Siege, you think about destruction, you think about how the map can really change all the way throughout the round. There weren't any ways to rebuild the map. And we
I don't
came
know
up
if
with
destruction
this,
breaks the
this idea
entire
of
thing or
having
not.
something that you can throw and really be free in the way you want to deploy your patch. The role of Azami is really an anchor. You know, she's an architect, so you want her close to the objective. You want her close to your anchor players so she can
What?
provide the necessary cover for them. You want her close
What
to
is that
the
Mira
walls
strat?
that you're going to expect some form of breach. So you want her on site. That's where she's the strongest. So Azami is a total game changer. literally. For the first time and ever, the defenders can actually protect themselves from vertical play, which is something that was never possible before. If you had a buck or a sledge right above you, making holes on the floor, you were kind of, in panic, and you had to run away. You had to get out of there. There wasn't any really.
The sledge can destroy it though.
But now you can. Now
Buck
you can
can't.
throw a patch, you can throw a Kiba barrier there and actually provide you with some real cover.
They can melee it though.
Vertically, which is something that it's completely new for Siege. You can patch a ace hole, Ibana hole, anything you can think of. You can also even patch up a hatch that's been open. The possibilities are really endless, and it's really something that would completely change the game.
It's gonna be such a troll gadget, but
so the loadout for
I think people will
Azami,
adapt pretty
in terms of
quickly.
primary, she's equipped with the 9x19 SVN, which is the
Russian
SMG that
SMG.
most people would
And the
know
ACS-12,
as
the best gun in the
Shotgun's
world.
SMG. On other option, you can also bring the ACS-12, which is the sort of like auto shotgun that you can see on Maestro and Alibi. And secondary weapon, she brings the D50. In terms of generic gadget, she brings the impact grenades and barbed wires. So the reason why we went for the 9x19 SVN and the ACS-12 is if you want to play Azami as more of a frag centered operator,
You bring the
want to feel like
ACS-12.
you can, get your frags. You're going to go probably with the 9x19
No, you get the ACS-12.
SVN because it's a very good SMG.
No, because the ACS-12 is better.
Good rate of fire, low recoil, good mag capacity, so it's a very good gun to frag out. But you can also go with the option of the ACS-12,
Which is the better
which
weapon.
still provides you with quite a lot of damage, but it's also going to bring a good amount of destruction. So for an architect, it's
That's the most unrealistic part, how slowly they're
the
opening
D50,
that.
it
Bro, if
also
you have the
brings a
ACS-12, you
decent
are
amount of destruction. So
opening
again,
up that
for an
wall in 2
architect,
seconds.
It's a good thing to bring. The impact grenades, well, for someone that reshapes the map, it's kind of like a must-have. And we also gave her the barbed
That's the
wires
Clash
because the barbed
SMG
wires
scope,
are
by the
very
way.
useful to reshape
But they
the
keep
flow
showing
of
the
attack.
ACS-12.
She works really, really well with operators like Bandits because
Recharge
she
as
can
well.
provide covers that weren't existing before. She can create
But it's two-way.
bulletproof surfaces that can really protect a bandit that's
You can
actively
block
trying to
that, but
penetrate.
then
Considering that you
Oh.
can use the gadget on pretty much any surfaces, you can also use it to block drone holes.
But will
You
that
have
block
few, areas
explosives?
on different maps like Consulate, where a garage door, it's the big door.
Like, if you
that's
stand on the other
usually
side of it and
bandit
someone
trying
throws
to
a grenade, do you
penetrate,
die?
And it's a very vulnerable place, and there's a drone right next to you that's begging to have a Twitch drone go through, a grenade go through, and really deal damage to your bandit. But with this gadget, you can actually block that hole. You can block the yellow stairs and provide your bandit with plenty of cover to activate.
Plenty of cover, as they just show that he could like prone and watch it.
In addition, she can also work really well with Mira. With her gadget, she can actually create half reinforced wall. It's not the same as like an actual reinforced wall, but you can place it on the.
What is
soft
that Mira?
wall. So you can really create some.
It's right next to the windows.
Exciting new ways
Come on,
of
guys.
setting your defense. Since the gadget is bulletproof, it's going to be a very good, useful tool to protect you, but you can't really rely too much on it because it's also very easy to deal with. Any explosive will destroy the gadget.
Okay. But will it hurt you on the other side of it? That's the
It
question.
also can be destroyed by 3 melee hits if you don't have any explosives at your disposal.
Does it destroy all of it? It
Your
does.
best bet to really deal with this gadget is to bring operators like Zofia, Ash. These are very useful operators that can destroy the gadget from afar with their gadget.
Because
You can
Zofia
also
wasn't that
bring
strong to
Flores.
begin with. Or Flores.
Is also a very, very, very good operators for this gadget because with one RC drone, you can destroy a whole cluster of them. And otherwise,
Oh,
your
the Goya
classic,
rework
your
there.
grenade, and again, pretty much any form of explosives will destroy them really easily. So you can rely on the gadget to protect you from bullet, but you have to be careful that it's not going to be permanently on the map. Attackers will have.
So you throw one, they explode it.
relatively
You throw
easy way
another,
to
they
deal with
explode
it.
it. You
So,
throw
it's
another.
a temporary
Just
fixture.
waste their explosives. It's
So many
5.
players will tell
from
you
the looks
that
of it.
Velvet Shell is probably one of their favorite season. One of the reasons for this is because we introduced the Mira, which was a huge change for the meta and a huge change for the way people actually played the game. And we're kind of hoping for the same thing with Azami. She brings such
Her gadget, like, the texture looks so
exciting and
bad,
such
though.
a creative gadget that we're really hoping to see.
like, concept's cool and all.
game
I have no
kind of,
problems
like,
with it.
switch into
But, like, why does it
completely
look like it's a
different ways
Nintendo
of defending
64
and completely
graphic?
different ways of setting your different sites and different defense, and it's a very exciting operator
Yes,
to
it works.
introduce into the game.
In addition to the new operator, Demonvale is bringing back something I know you all are excited to see. A new map. Let's get
Mid-season,
a
they
close look
said.
at where you'll soon be having close encounters. Here's level designer Josem El Rene.
Oh, different level designer than the guy we're used
really
to.
excited to bring a new map for
Jeremy
RTS
Dowsett, I think is
for
his
the
name.
Players. It was a really big challenge to secure something that is fresh, that feels new, but also that keeps the same level of quality standard that we've accustomed our
Zami's gonna be
players to.
really good against
So
Maverick.
The map is set in Ireland.
Maverick can break
it's
it.
A
With a
older
torch.
style, classical style manor or castle.
I assume.
It was made into a country club for the elites of the world.
Oh,
First floor
that's
was
why I
organized
recognize this
for
place.
the,
I've been
the
there.
enjoyment of the guests, but the second floor has still a more classical style for the private, the elites, and maybe the shady deals they do there.
Yeah, I've definitely
Coming
done
back
some
after
shady
so
deals
long,
there.
creating a new map. It was hard to get a new starting point in terms of thematics and vibe that we wanted. Finding the location was a challenge for the team, but I think we really hit the target right in the bullseye.
I didn't hear what they
and
said the location
created
was.
something that is quite unique and enjoyable.
Looks a lot like Villa
We
mixed
wanted
with
to
Chalet,
take what we've learned with the old maps and really bring a new one with those
which are both good
learnings.
maps. So
I really like when I know where I am. I know.
that's the
what
same
is
artwork
coming
that's in
next.
Bank,
That's
I think.
something that is really important
Villa.
to make a map enjoyable. Is that it's easy to learn. And the faster you get to know the map, the faster you'll get enjoyment out of it. And that's what we strove for.
That's what Bartlett wishes it was, bro. Bartlett's university.
During High Caliber, the team debuted
Bartlett
the
does
lab
not want
test
to be a
server with
country
Team
club.
Deathmatch and Attacker Repick.
Mm-hmm.
For more on how that went, welcome back Deanna Stanley and a couple of familiar faces.
Who are the familiar faces? Is it me?
Our first lab test server was super successful for us. Our team really enjoyed watching our content creators and players discover these features for the first time. So
Oh
was
god,
really
it
great.
actually might be.
We showcased
No, they wouldn't
Team
show me.
Deathmatch
They wouldn't
and
use me.
Attacker Repick. The reaction we got from the community was really positive, so we're going to be able to announce
There's no way they would
today
use
what's
content
coming
from me.
for those two features.
Attacker repick, so
So we
Is
are
this going
super excited
live, they
to
said?
finally let players play Attacker Repick.
Or actually just going to test server. I think it's live.
And going through player feedback, we see that everything was working as expected for us. It was easy to use, the technical aspects were working as well. It's obviously a big meta change, but we'll monitor that during the live phase. We will be able to tweak anything if needed. I think it's very important.
I don't know
to
how
have
I
it
feel
finally
about this.
available to start the new year. And
I feel
think
like
it
the
will be
Attacker
very
Repick's gonna be a
exciting
little
to
too
see
strong.
How it changes the
We'll see.
distribution and the way players play.
I guess in the test
especially-
server when we tried it didn't like make us guaranteed
We're
win or
happy to release
anything.
the Attacker Repick in the lab TS because it's a very special environment. You don't have to test other features, and so that allows us to have feedback like very focused on that feature. So that helps us a lot.
It definitely
trying to,
promotes
to know
droning more,
what
because
was
if you
working
don't
and what wasn't
drone,
working in the feature.
you
So, yeah, thank
won't
to
know which
everyone that,
operators to go.
played on the lab test server. It made a huge difference for us. It gave us the confidence to be able to.
I feel like
make
if you're like,
that
oh, they
feature,
have
we're
Warden.
thankful for that.
Get off of Ying, get off of Blitz.
So last
Punishing the
December,
defenders a little
we
bit.
had our first TS lab in which we introduced Team Deathmatch game mode. We had a blast watching players run around the different maps with different operators and different combination of many of the same operators, and just have a blast on this game mode. And we collected a lot of feedback on this game mode, and it was super fun to read all the feedback. It was honestly overwhelmingly
10-man Ella
positive,
Shoddy.
which is why I'm super excited right now to announce that, well, this game mode is going to be coming in this season with all the awesome content that we've already announced.
Okay.
This is a permanent game mode, so this game mode is here to stay, and we're super excited for you to jump in and get more people to experience
I assume
this
they mean
awesome game mode that we worked on.
The beginning of the season, not
We
mid-season.
worked really hard to make sure that we could
That's
release
good.
it as soon as possible, so we're going to release it this season. But do expect more update following the release, such as we know that you want to see more maps to be added in the game mode. We're working on this.
Oh, okay.
We're also looking at improving our spawning system, because that was also something that was said in the feedback that we could implement and we could maybe make better. So we're actively working on this. So expect more update.
I don't want them to
following the
change it
release to
because
make
I
sure that
want to
we're
do
one of the
where we do
top,
5-man
top
TDM,
tier.
and then we all just like die and we don't choose a new operator, and then we win because the enemy team can't do anything because you can just stay
This next one
dead.
is for folks who play as Goyo or who play against Goyo. If that's you, Teresa Rico, quality control lead from Ubisoft.
When she said
Barcelona,
familiar faces, I thought they were going to
Azami.
show content creator clips. I think she just meant more individuals talking.
Currently, Goyo's explosive canister is attached to a deployable shield, which allows defenders to use the gadget more aggressively.
Yeah, this
and hold
rework was
their
supposed to come out
positions from behind the shield.
year
The
6.
main issue we've spotted with the current system
they said that
was
they had
Goyo
to,
was
delay
picked
it.
mainly because of the shield. And the meta evolved in a way that he became an issue for competitive, because attackers needed a lot of explosive
He really
utility
only
just
affects
to deal with
competitive
him.
play, not
Additionally,
ranked
He
play.
was designed to be an alternative for smoke, but he wasn't used like that. The main change we are introducing in Goyo is removing the shield, so now the gadget will be only the explosive canister. This should encourage players to use it for what it was designed, time and area denial. We are also increasing the number of canisters, because you will need to replace them, so it is less reactive than a smoke, and maybe not all of them will be impactful during the round. Finally, we are tweaking the canister's fire. The area will be bigger and it will last longer to compensate the lack of adaptation during the action phase.
Oh.
Our objective is
Oh
to
shit,
bring
that's
Goyo back
massive.
to his original role, area denial.
It's like the entire
With
room.
the new behavior, his role should be clearer, and it should be easier to understand how and where to place the device. As Goyo, you should share your resources by placing the gadget where your teammates can use it, because it will be hard to control all of them. You are kind of giving them
I guess
the
it makes sense that
ability
it's so
to slow down
large.
the enemy. With this new version, the strategy and ability to cooperate will determine who is a good Goyo player.
We've got one exciting loadout update for you. For more details, here's Sebastien Francois, UX designer.
This one I was surprised about, but it's a very good change.
So when we released new sites and scope in Year 5 Season 3, we opted to distribute them in a way that would make each operator loadout feel special and unique, but we
Which did
realized
not
that
happen.
players felt frustrated that they did not have access to all the sites on any weapon. So what we're doing next season
Cybertrucks.
is that we're going to give you access to
Holographic
all
for whatever
sites
reason.
on all primary weapons. So you will be able to choose any sites that you prefer and engage in gunfights in a comfortable way.
Our PC players have been using the match replay feature to analyze tactics.
This will be
and
something
strategy,
huge to make
learn from
console
their
shut up.
mistakes, and create content. And we're happy to announce that console players can now do the same.
I kept hearing so
Here
many people be like,
introducing
why don't we
Match
have
Replay
match
on
replay? I'm like,
consoles
I don't know,
is
man, it's in
project
beta.
manager Mihai Lakatovich.
Now they'll have it.
Yes, indeed, you heard it right. Match Replay is coming to console finally. We're so happy to give this feature to our console players. We've been waiting for a long time. I know they've been waiting also for a long time, so we're pretty excited and happy to offer this feature with the new season that is coming. So, first of all,
Oh, that was
want to
0.5
let
times
you know
speed. I was
that
like,
our
man, that's
console
such a
players are always
slow
been in our
reaction.
focus. We always wanted to give this feature to them. It's just that on console, we want to have a certain degree of quality. So if you remember when we first released Match Replay on PC, it was in an alpha version, meaning it was in a rough state. But since then, we improved a lot. We did a lot of optimizations, and
I'd
we
honestly
added
argue it's
features
more
to
broken
it,
now
so
than
we
ever
believe now
before.
we're in a better spot. The development was a bit tricky, just because Rainbow Six, it's a very complex game that has a lot of underlying systems, like for sounds, for visual effects, for distraction, you name it. What we're doing, we're taking each system one by one, and we make sure we can record it and play it back accurately. And this will translate in taking a lot of time. So this is why there was a delay between PC and console. On console, we have some constraints when it comes to disk space compared with the PC platform. So this is why we will be able,
Iron
with our
Sights
first version,
Vigil?
to guarantee you that you will have your latest 2 hours of your gameplay available. Also, we're going to still keep the 12 replays, maximum amount of replays, but your latest 2 hours will be there. So after these 2 hours, when we reach this limit, we will start deleting your oldest replay. But be assured, your 2 hours are there to be watched and create your awesome moments.
Oh. So if you
Vale will also be launching
Wait,
with some
what?
new player protection measures.
If you play a game at
Emmanuel
2,
Larive from the player
as soon as
behavior
4
team
o'clock hits,
is
it's
here
just
to tell you
gone?
more.
Why does it delete it so quickly? Like, I know they said
Player
constrained for space,
protection
but
is a
still.
subject that is
That's
really
so weird.
important for us at Ubisoft, but also at Rainbow Six Siege. With Season 1 launch, it will be mandatory to have your phone number added to your account to play the ranked game mode. Following that, it will help us to fight against smurfing and also alleviate some cheating cases.
I gotta add Annie's phone number to my other accounts.
Last season, you met associate producer Deanna Stanley as she presented our new R6 Fix platform. Now, she's back to sweeten the deal for everyone out there.
They keep
making
12
Siege
after
a
2
better
hours
game.
still, but more than that is deleted. They literally said if it's as soon as the 2 hours is up, it starts deleting your oldest files.
So the launch of R6 Fix 2.0 went really well for us. We saw a lot of engagement from our players. We saw a boost in tickets created, especially right at the launch. So we were super happy with how it went. So it's been super helpful for the dev team, specifically when users have been raising these issues, especially for those rare, harder to pin down issues. We're really appreciative to our community. We consider that the launch was a
Can't
success.
pick other agents.
We saw 1,400 daily visits to the website, and it's compared to 300 in the same period last year. So we think that the version 2 and its improved user experience really made a difference for our players. So as we mentioned last season, we do have some news to share about our new incentive program. So starting with the Year 7
Yes.
Season 1 season test server,
Mhm.
we'll be tracking the issues that players enter on R6 Fix. Depending on the severity of the bug that's reported, a player can get up to 12 alpha packs that guarantee 4 rare, 4 epic, and 4 legendary items per season. So that's for a high priority bug of the highest severity. But even for those smaller issues, as long as they make their way into our internal systems, players can still get 1 of each rarity.
Oh no.
So we hope that this is going to help our players feel incentivized for the help that they're providing the dev team. We're super appreciative of players who are spending their time to help us identify those issues. And
I'll
we're
explain
happy to
why
be
I
able
have-
to just give something
like,
back.
that's a good thing.
So we hope this is going to be a first step.
But
and
I'll
we hope
explain
we're gonna
my
be able
other
to do more
concerns
stuff like this
after.
in the future. So even though this launches with the Year 7 Season 1 test server, it also applies to live servers. So starting with the opening of the test server, you can report any issue on the live game or on the test server, and that's going to count towards your rewards for this season. We're super thankful to our players. We're excited for this year. We hope that these changes are going to be a positive thing for them and help them feel more heard, because our #1 priority is making sure that our community knows that we're working for them. We want to keep the game as enjoyable as possible, and we know that sometimes it can take time, but hopefully the incentive program is going to be a first few steps towards regaining.
So why is the
trust with
incentive
our
only for bugs and not for actually playing on the test server? Because
You've
test
got a
server's still
great
gonna
look at
die.
everything Demon Vale will bring this season.
We can't talk about balancing stuff if there's only 200 players on the test server.
Quite done yet. During the reveal of High Caliber,
I think
we
leave in the
introduced you to
rewards
camera
for
view
the
signal update. That disconnected
what's it
Defender's
called? For the
cameras
bugs,
a few
but add more
seconds
rewards for
once
people
placed
just
outside.
playing.
This change
That's what's
is
needed.
scheduled to go live this season. Experience all the content dropping with Demon Vale on February 21st. And one more thing. Here's an exclusive elite skin for Nomad. Enjoy.
Yeah, this was leaked already at Invitational. What is that? Why does it look... That looks like the cartoons I watched when I was 12. Now it looks better in-game. So she a Tomb Raider? Oh, Indiana Jones! What? She just shot a statue, what? Am I wrong, or was that the corniest thing I've ever seen for an Elite Skin video? That was so bad. The Elite Skin was good, don't get me wrong, but the actual thing was just so bad. That was really, really bad. I'll leave it on my screen in case if they say anything that I actually need to talk about, but I don't think they're going to. I think it's just a, like, you know, a yay video. Okay, so how do we feel about Year 7, Season 1? So out of everything that they have mentioned, overall, I think it's good changes. I don't think there's anything necessarily to be negative about. I do think there are a few things, like I mentioned. The awards for the test server, I'm like, why are they only awarding for bug fixes? Which is like, it's good. It incentivizes bug fixing, but the biggest problem is that no one wants to play test server because there's no incentives to stay on there. So the test server is still going to die in a week. Put the incentives on the test server. That's honestly one of the only complaints I can really think about. Oh yeah, so the new map comes out at the mid-season. I don't know how I feel about that completely because it's like, okay, it's good because then that means the hype from the beginning of the season will carry over to the mid-season because we've had very lackluster mid-season patches. So having them release something big at the mid-season is huge because then there's actually a reason to be excited. But does that take away from the hype of the beginning of the season? Because if they came out like new operator, attacker repick, new map, all this stuff all at once, huge hype. Now it's like half the hype at the launch. Or not half, like less hype at the launch. Because we have to wait for it. We'll see. I mean, I guess I would rather have an overall even season rather than a huge hype and then die. Because that's how it's been recently. Oh yeah, one thing I just want to throw out there, because I saw someone complain in my chat, and I know people are complaining about this. I saw it all over Twitter, I saw it all over Reddit. Guys, shut the fuck up when you talk about, why haven't they fixed mouse and keyboard on console? Just shut the fuck up. I know it's a problem. Ubisoft can't fix it. It is a Microsoft and Sony problem. They aren't releasing any information about it because they can't fucking fix it. So stop your bitchiness and just wait for Microsoft or Sony to fix it, okay? God. Fucking petulant children. Anyways. What else did they announce? Oh yeah, so new operator. I'm curious to see how she'll play out because it's obviously going to be a very new style of play. But the fact that Ashe, Zofia, Flores are already like some of the top picks, I feel like it's just going to mean she's going to get countered very easily. But then it's a utility dump. You bring her, I guess, instead of like, who do you replace in a comp setup? You don't replace Jaeger or Wamai. I guess you would replace like the Mira. What's her name? Azumi? Yeah, so I guess you bring that, you block some stuff. I think she had 5, so you can waste 5 explosives or something. I don't know. I think it's an overall interesting operator. I do wish that they just had better graphics on it. Like, I know it's a dumb thing to complain about because it's not really that impactful, but like, it looks like it's out of Nintendo 64, right? Like, just make that look a little bit better. It looks very out of place for Siege because everything else is so highly detailed, and then this looks like it's like a 4x4 pixel image just stretched out, you know? Just make that a little bit nicer. Anything else I'm forgetting? Chat, remind me of any of the things that went through. Oh, I scored a drop. Let's go. I just got my drop today. Yay. Also, thanks for subs from Zach, Gizmo, Dennis, and Seth. We already talked about new map. I don't know much about it. I just know it exists. Cross progression, I believe, will probably be part of the Year 7 panel because they said it was coming later in the year. So we assume it should be part of that panel. I don't know. That's honestly something I didn't even look into. Scopes. So I saw people in chat. I don't think you guys understood. A lot of people were excited. They're like, Jaeger ACOG's back. You guys do realize that it's only going to be the one-time scopes, right? So it's like Jaeger will now have every single one-time scope, but he's not going to have ACOG back. The scopes are just so it's like, oh, instead of being Castle and being stuck with the ugly-ass Cybertruck Hollow, you can now have the normal Hollow. Goyo rework. I think overall, it's gonna be a very hard operator to incorporate into your setup because it's gonna be very hard to destroy those canisters. But maybe I haven't had my hands on it, so I don't know for sure how it'll work. Attacker repick we talked about. Just like I think it'll be interesting. I think it's going to definitely swing in the favor of attackers, like bring the whole meta in favor of attackers and make it where they will win like 95% of the rounds. But obviously, it's not going to be that crazy. It's going to be probably just a slight increase. I think they should be ready to remove that though at a moment's notice. Ubisoft adding phone number to ranked is a cheeky way to get into certain girls' DMs. Well, they are adding phone numbers to ranked. That is true. Apparently, they announced something saying that they were working with a third-party company to make sure that people can't just submit fake phone numbers. So that's good, because that was a big concern a lot of people had, is they can just make a fake phone number with a million different services. Azami versus Maverick. I don't know the interaction myself because I haven't used it. I assume it works just like a reinforcement. It's just gonna make a hole, because Castle's the same thing. Castle's 9 hits to break, but you can use a Maverick Torch and draw on it. Attacker repick is where during the drone phase you can change your operator. So you have 45 seconds to change your operator after droning them out and finding out what operators they have. Defenders can't do it. Anything else? You guys are just repeating the same things I've already talked about. Oh, hi CC. How you doing, pal? He is probably sad that Annie is not giving her attention. No crossplay news, no cross progression news. Why do my cats hate me? CC doesn't hate me that much. More bagel. I say as she leaves me. Yeah. If I had to rate this season, I would say overall, from a content creator perspective, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. 5 being average, 10 being perfect. So 7 is like above average. The reason I say that is because while a lot of these things are cool and interesting and definitely will make the game more enjoyable, my biggest concern always at the end of the day is how does it look from a content creator perspective? What can we showcase to our viewers? And unfortunately, each season there is less and less for us to showcase. So that's why I'm not as excited as maybe other people might be. Because how many videos can I make on Team Deathmatch? How many videos can I make on Attacker Repick before it gets stale? So operators allowed for endless content because you could use them in a variety of different ways on a variety of different maps, but only having one operator still means less content. But the other stuff will definitely help. Having a new map come out the mid-season will keep interest higher throughout most of the season. Having TDM will at least do something to incentivize players to play again. Having incentives on the test server might help keep it alive a bit longer. I don't know. Yeah, I think overall for me, 7 out of 10.